everybody, how you doing today? I've got another one of these amazing world healing sessions. I've had a client book a number of these, and today we're going to be connecting with the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, and asking her where she's at as far as the Mexican cartel goes. All we can do is see what happens. So this is a distance psychic wisdom and energy healing session. So I'm going to put this thingy on here, and then I'm going to go into an altered state, project my consciousness, and visit a reflection of herself, so we can get a feel for what she's going through. In a previous session, I'll put a link in the description, we did take a look at how to shine light into the Mexican cartels, how to create a stopping point for this movement, working with love and light, and Jesus was a big part of that message as well. So I'm going to read your goals here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's really neat. Really curious to see what happens. So you say, "Dear Abbey, I ask that you connect with the president of Mexico and look into the situation she faces at this time. Please bring clarity and divine guidance to her relationship with world leaders, including President Trump, regarding efforts to address the cartel crisis. May she be reminded of the powerful and sacred position she holds, with an opportunity to lead her nation toward freedom from corruption, fear, and evil. May she be surrounded by truth, courage, and divine protection as she chooses the path that serves the highest good of her people and her country." Okay. Just a moment here. In my mind, I'm reflecting on the most respectful way to connect with her, Madam President. And I might call her Claudia. It's just easier in the energy world, but I want to be respectful too. She may be quite aware of the powerful and sacred position she holds. It's hard to say what she's facing when it comes to the Mexican cartels. She would be quite aware of that predicament in her own country. You also sent me a link, and President Trump was mentioning that he would be honored to bring in the U.S. military if she requested it in order to clean up the Mexican cartels. So it sounds to me like it's an offer. It's on the table for her if she chooses it. I'll put that link too in the description if you guys want to check it out. So let's see what we can do here, shall we? It's going to be very interesting, and I really appreciate the opportunity. We might be able to make some real changes, because energy to energy, right now, I'm a part of the whole, right? You're a part of the whole, but we're also connected to each other. So when we bring an amplification to that connection through light and love, amazing things can happen. Energetic domino effects can happen. So I'm going to put the thingy on and get in the zone here. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm going to see also in her reflection. I need to take a moment here. I'm just telling her I'm grateful for your presence in this world, Madam President. I thank you, President Trump, as well, for offering this opportunity to make a big difference when it comes to Mexican cartels. There's so much darkness that it's just a huge dark cloud. And it's a horrifying story. The stories you hear about it's just so horrifying and tragic. But everything comes back down to gratitude for what we learn from these exchanges and how we can work together to make it a better world, truly a better world. A better world for human well-being. Human well-being is real. And getting cut to pieces is not human well-being. It's pretty obvious. Nobody wants to get cut to pieces, so we're pretty sure that that's not human well-being, right? I feel like already this is how I'm guided to start. Already, I feel a lot of pain in my heart, and my heart is crying. And I don't know what this means. Is this Claudia's heart? Is this the heart of Mexico as a whole? Is this truly my heart? I'm not sure. I have a lot of heat here at the back of my head. It's kind of like a buzzing, kind of a slightly burny sensation, like a sunburn. There are so many people on their knees praying in Mexico, praying, praying for freedom from the Mexican cartels. I literally see a whole country. You could imagine every single person in this country is actually on their knees praying for freedom. Behind closed doors, people are praying for freedom, praying for freedom. Literally, Madam President, you could be the answer to their prayers in this physical world. Can you imagine getting to be that person? This is one big family. All I can do is continue to share what comes. I just see homes, homes and homes and homes and homes, so many homes. So many homes, different types of homes, different sizes, different shapes. The people are on their knees within their homes praying. They're not praying in the streets. They're in their homes on their knees praying. Men and women in particular praying. And then I see someone comes in and there's a huge cardboard box and it's full of photos, and then they dump all the photos out, and it's all these kids. It's all these kids. It's like albums and albums and albums of photos of children. It's just, you could fill up so many albums with this many pictures. And there's so many adorable faces. Because children truly are adorable, and they're innocent, and they're just trying to find their way in this world. Even as adults, we're still trying to find our way. And so there's this prayer event, and then there's this cardboard box, and all these pictures are almost like raindrops just falling out, and this piles and piles of pictures. Okay, I'm supposed to look at another thing. So I see Mexico has this outline. Literally, this is a country on a map, right? So you can see the outline, the borders of this country. But the borders aren't outlined in like black ink, and they're outlined in a type of energy. So I see there's like blue energy, like energy walls that come from the ground and they come up. There's blue light and just kind of comes up, and it goes all the way around the country. Well, this is huge. Oh, hold on. Okay. So Mexico is insignificant. That's a weird thing to say, because now I can't begin to describe what this is, but it's kind of like who is significant and then who is insignificant. And Mexico, apparently, to a Mexican cartel, is insignificant? What does that mean? Who is saying that? Why is anyone saying that? I'm going to have to investigate. This is going to take me some time. But it seems like there's more to the Mexican cartel than what we perceive as Mexico. Seems to me be a small ingredient to a much bigger, you could say the spider is a lot bigger and the web goes across the world. It's a dark web. Okay, this is getting real freaky, okay? All right. Just a minute here. I'm just going to touch this. I'm not touching the blue light. What I'm doing is I'm just touching the energy, and the energy is like you could just describe it as one massive sticky spider web, and it goes across the whole world, okay? And that means that countries all over the world are intertwined with the Mexican cartels. It's oddly laughable that we seem to think it's all just in Mexico. But why? What? So that's what the next thing is, okay? And why were the blue lights around this country? I'm not sure. I don't know what that means. At least not yet. I'm just touching the spider web, and right now I'm just kind of becoming the spider web itself, so I can feel all its connections. Oh, this is going to get really sick, but everyone who's connected to the spider web is becoming a very sharp edge, and you're going to get shish kebabbed on it. And I see many, many people in suits actually getting shish kebabbed, like through the head, pulled onto this, what is now kind of a knife-like spider web that goes all over the world. And it's kind of like you go to the laundry mat, like the actual dry cleaners, and then they'll have this system where they'll put the clothes on the hangers and then it just run it around the system. And so instead of having clothes on hangers, you have literal people in suits. But the hanger, it's like the whole machine, it just goes through their head, like right there. And then they're just hung up. And they're hung up all over on the spider web now. Because it's the very web that connects them that's going to consume them. It's the very web that connects them that is going to be their undoing. You don't want to be connected to this, because it will be your undoing. I have to pause for a minute because I have a lot to figure out here. I feel like I'm far away from Claudia at this time. I feel like I'm looking at, kind of like I'm in outer space looking at the world, so to speak. Yeah. I need some time here to assess this. I'm going to ask you a question. Is what is dark or what is evil what is most disturbing? To anybody, the answer would be yes. Have you ever seen a good person pushed to the brink of their dark side? It's called wrath in a way. It's almost called, you could call it reconciliation of sorts. But the light can be pretty darn dark. And there's angels that can go there. And I see that there's a resurrection here on our planet of angels that are capable of going dark in order to literally face what is in the dark. Face it and like clean up the mess. So what do we do when we get cancer? The solution as of right now is we destroy our own body in order to reach it and destroy it, and then hopefully we recover. Yeah. So it's kind of all dark. It's not really the reconciliation of light, the piercing light that really solves the problem, that really gets the job done. It's more like more darkness is to cure darkness. This is when light is the cure. And when light is the cure, you don't want to be in the shadows. I'm just going to say that. When light is the cure, when true light is the cure, you'll be obliterated. It takes a lot for you to push light to that place, because light doesn't want to go there. Light doesn't want to go there again and again. It's almost like light understands that there's an educational process, and it can't tell that it's being called now to take that step to be the bad guy. But light is not the bad guy. Light is the true. It's almost like you see Archangel Michael coming on in. Sometimes the light has to come on in to clean up and do the dirty work. And it's going to seem like it's doing dark things, but it's not. It's actually cleaning up the mess. So that's the next hit. I get overwhelmed. It's like, you know those Altoids? They're really hardcore breath mints. You put one of those on your tongue and it's like, oh, dang. Like you can't not know you have an Altoid on your tongue. Like you know it. This is, you know it. This is like Altoid. This is not peppermint. This is Altoid. This is like a whole can. This might be an injection into the veins of Altoid, okay? It's hardcore. It's like, oh, dang, you know it. I have to pause for a minute because now I am looking at the Mexican president. I'm looking at her. She has, okay, how am I going to say this? Okay, I see her. It's almost like there's sun that comes through a window and there's a peaceful kind of sense of the dynamics of this room. It's like the peaceful sunshine, the peaceful window, the peaceful walls, this peaceful book. It's not touching the spider web. It's not looking at the ugly things that have to happen to actually make this a better world. Okay, this is getting more intense. There's someone coming into her peaceful room and they've got, it's like a Halloween kind of horror movie, and they have a chainsaw. And they actually just put their hand around her mouth and there's nothing she can do, and they just cut her legs off. And she's just bleeding out all over the place. And then she just left there like a dead animal on the side of the street. And then this goes on repeat again. And I start to hear there's a weird harmony that she's kind of hypnotized by, and that harmony stops. It's like it scratches the record when it stops. And then this echoes again and again and again and again, but it's different this time. This time it's like a sharp, it's like dental floss, but it's like a sharp wire. I don't know why they're always cutting her legs off, but the sharp wire goes through. It's like saws through her bone. It's really, really long, torturous nightmare that happens. And then it happens. She's just left like a dead animal on the side of the street. It's hard to know whether you want to survive that experience or if you just want to die. And there's a state of shock about it. And I hear the record scratches again, and then it scratches again, and then it scratches again, until it's time for you to stand up, Madam President. And I see that, okay, some people don't understand what I'm talking about, that you have to stand up in order to make a difference, that just creating more nice things, more peace and more comforts doesn't actually create actual comforts or peace. You have to make difficult decisions. This would be like someone who really wants to hang out at the library and just read their good books, and then just get immersed in that and be a bit of a academic mentality and talk about the things that they've read without really getting their feet into the mud of the actual crisis. So they're not touching the crisis, not even from outer space. Beyond a 10-foot pole, they aren't touching a crisis, let alone if they were out in outer space, they wouldn't touch this crisis. They're never far enough away from this crisis unless they just aren't choosing to even go there, that they have to take responsibility for it. So we can give ourselves almost like the comfort of a Novocaine of sorts. I see that her vision is more academic than it is getting down into the trenches, digging her heels into the mud and really fighting for a better life for the Mexican people. It's just not, I don't see it in her dynamic. It would, even if they came knocking and then they just busted the door down and scratched that record of her peaceful hypnotic state with the books and cut her freaking legs off, she still wouldn't be able to snap out of it for some reason. It's just not real enough. Even if it cut her down, it wouldn't be real enough. I'm not sure why that is. I need to talk to the part of her that can say it's real enough. Because there is a part of her that can say that. And where is that part of her? There is something about cushiness and comfort. Who doesn't want it? We all want cushiness and comfort. Is it her cushiness and comfort? Is she really connected to the families of Mexico? Does she really care about what they're praying for? And I start to open her mind to what I've seen about the darkness and the shadow and the light that brings it. It reminds me of that image of Archangel Michael with the sword, and it's on top of the devil and it pierces the devil in the head. It's an image of war, you know. It's always the light that pierces the shadow. Sometimes shadow isn't, it's kind of just like a Sharpie marker. It's not real shadow. It's just black everywhere, or it's just white. It's not actual light. People talk about false light. Well, it's not light. It's just white. It's like whiteout and calling that light for some reason. But it's true light. Okay, I'm supposed to pause for a minute. I have to go to that blue light outline around Mexico here. This is not going to be easy. She's the perfect president for a Mexican cartel. Because as long as she's got books and cushy seats and peaceful sunshine through a nice window, then they can do whatever they want as long as she has what she wants. And to her, she's entitled to it. It's not her role to really be that child that's pictured in this cardboard box raining down from above like a torrential downpour of dead people. She needs to spend some time with the police force and the real people that are actually looking at these cases, and she needs to look at those faces or those missing faces. And she needs to really take a look at the horror that's happening in her country. She needs to get out of that peaceful room and she needs to go down into the dirt, get dirty herself, and see what she's really made out of. But it just keeps bouncing like a kid on a trampoline. I show her that this is important. This isn't easy. This is a different kind of academics, you know? This is the real world. This is the cruel world. This is the ugly world. Bounces away like a little Easter bunny looking for Easter eggs. Just bounces away, is as soft as a feather. So she wouldn't hurt a fly, but she'd let other people hurt. Children, actually. But she wouldn't hurt a fly. She's going to solve other problems in the world. Not this one, other problems. When I go to the blue light that outlines Mexico, I feel like I'm going to vomit from my sacral chakra up through my solar plexus, through my heart, through my throat, and out. And it's weird what the vomit is. It looks like a black snake. And there's a lot, and this must have something to do with the borders and what is on the outside of the borders of Mexico Ocean. And this must have to do with, it's sex trafficking is the best I could define it. And it just, the borders are full of basically feminine energy that is being raped. And there's blood involved in it too, because there's feminine blood all around the borders of Mexico. Actually, you could say it's a blood ceremony because there's blood and energy, and it's blood is the life force of man. It's our ingredient, it's our recipe, right? And so the recipe of your unique self is then put into the blood, into the ground, right? That meets with the water. And so the divine feminine blood has been shed on the borders, on all the borders, on all sides of Mexico. So I'm asked to see that every one of these women that has bloodshed on every boundary, sexually, through violence or trafficked outside of Mexico and beyond Mexico, that they're all Claudia. Because that's what empathy is truly getting a feel for what other people go through and what it means to be an actual leader of your people. You have to be hardcore. You have to be willing to stand up for people. I don't know why it's not trigger. It doesn't click anything. It just goes back to soft bunnies and Easter eggs and stuff. It just doesn't ever trigger reality. It's almost like there's a dissociate state of mind to the horrifying reality. It's just dissociate. It can't actually experience this, period. It just can experience cozy, cushy comfort. That's it. It's just, that's it. And it keeps insisting that my role is academic and I'm going to solve different problems. And that's what I'm going to do. It just does not associate with this at all. It just doesn't. So I don't see that the president of Mexico is the one that is going to change. The answer to the prayers of the Mexican people is not her. So I got to pause for a minute. What can I do to answer those prayers today? What can I do? Because something tells me that you booking this session and introducing me to this video with Donald Trump and the US military as an opportunity to bring the US military in to clean up this mess, to even get started on it, to be a protective force for your countrymen and women and children, that is an obvious, you betcha you can come in here. I have needed this for so long. I have longed to see this support. It's just, I don't see the connection. So you're presenting this information to me, and here I'm then in my work, what I do, how I can help, and we're creating dominoes effects. We're creating domino effects. So it's like the last video I was talking about, misbehave. And so this, you could say, is, are we creating an alternate? Are we creating a variable? Are we creating a distortion, a chaos to the actual chaos? And so the rhythm of chaos creates a pattern, and then it becomes like an unconscious behavior that just keeps happening, and everybody just knows about it. It's no big deal, and dark web and whatever. It's just out there. It's not really me. It's somebody else, you know. And so here we're creating a domino effect that's saying we have to take steps with this. Is it us, the humans, right, who are saying, or is it God working through us to start creating a ripple, to create a change in this? That means that more light and more angelic forces are awakening on our planet right now, and that this does reveal that there is a divine time, that this has to come full circle, that this has to reach its end. And there is going to be a new beginning. And it is ugly, by the way. There's no nice way about fixing this one. There's an ugly way to fix it. It is going to be ugly to fix it. And it is the only way to fix it. Because this thing has been ugly. And it's not as if we just go to sleep and wake up the next day and there is no devil anymore. We're reconciling it inside ourselves. We're reconciling it with each other. We're literally doing the dishes. You know? It's a nice way of putting it. And that tells me because you've been sparked to book this package and then you are focusing on these topics. Therefore, I'm now sparked to do this. So there's influence, there's ripples, there's events happening already because this is outside the box. So we're in a way misbehaving to what was the norm. We're outside the box of the normal behavior. We're doing it differently. So it has to be done differently. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm going to pause for a minute because I want to see what I can. Okay, the answer to what I can do is what I am doing. Is bringing illumination and light to the topic. Bringing illumination and light. Creating a challenge, right? For you, Madam President. Creating an opportunity for you to discover who you are in a new way. And take pride in the role that you're in. Is not just the intelligence and the academics and the books and the solving of other problems, but a solving of the one that's staring you right in the face. You could go down in the history books. In every library is the president that put a stop to this. You go down in history with the greats who made a difference. There's something more. I don't know how to understand this. Basically, I see the same room with the pleasant window and the light shining in. Then I see a shadow man that stands at the window. And when the shadow man stands at the window, there is this sort of gray light that is cast. And I see a dark reflection of Claudia being basically tied up in ropes. And it's just like a bad dream. It's not really going to happen. That's how it always is dismissed. It's not real. It's not real. And I tell her that who's threatening who here? You need to stand up and look at it in the face. Who's threatening who here? You have allies, you know. I'm taking these ropes off and I'm having her stand up and face this shadow man with the gray light. And I say, you can look anybody in the eye. They can look you in the eye and you can look them in the eye. And you can just look them in the eye. Why not call yourself the most powerful woman in all of Mexico? That's awesome. That's freaking awesome, for real awesome. And I'm helping her draw in energy from the planet into her legs to help her feel grounded in who she is and her true role and what she has the power to actually accomplish in her life. I'm also taking a giant plug out of the back of her heart. She's kind of, I don't know, like easily mesmerized and redirected. Her mind's easily like redirected. And when I unplug this, there's weird sparks that happen and there's a waking up happening inside herself. And I say, you should thank this man with the gray light. It's the first opportunity I've witnessed in all of these exchanges where you're finally standing and looking, or really seeing, and you're not redirected, actually holding your attention upon a real problem. Go hug that man. Go thank that man for waking you up. I see her puking out. It's pretty normal in the energy world to release stuff. And sometimes it released from the solar plexus, so it just looks like vomit. It's just energy jam. It's just discomfort about the reality of all of this. She's really jammed up. When it gets real, it gets really jammed up. It's easier to just bounce and become an Easter bunny who's just looking for Easter eggs, and that's what keeps the peace. No, that isn't what keeps the peace for literally anybody but you. And I give her a big hug and I thank her for talking to me today. It's a real honor to meet you. I know you've got it inside yourself, and I know you're in a bit of a pinched predicament. To really see your reflection in the mirror through many dynamics, because you're more than just an academic type. You do see the problems in the world. It's the cozier, softer, feather-like problems that you can handle. But this is a big one. You have the ability to really stand strong for something that's going to change the world, to save kids and women and men too. And even all those who get wrapped up and then participating in the cartel, that all of this could stop, and that you could encourage the people of Mexico to build a relationship with the books that you love or that inspire you and the educated mind, and to create an educated country. But you got to get the dishes done here. You got to wash the dishes. You got to do the laundry. And I choose to see that she talks to President Trump again. I'm just creating a space where I see that they're looking at each other eye to eye. And she's having to unbox herself. She's having to take herself out of the walls of this cozy room with the sun shining in and talk about authentically her weaknesses with this, her strengths with this, to let her guard down in some way is only going to help her with help, because guess what? You have allies, and we're stronger with friends than we are alone. And these allies too, they could be the light that you might not know how to be, and then you don't have to quite do that, but you can have friends who can be the ones that can do that. They can help you. Real friends do. I'm just putting light all around her and within her and in her mind, and I'm thanking her again. It's a different kind of academia here. This, what we're learning is a little bit more of the cold, hard reality, but it's also a classroom too. All right. Thank you for this so much. Coming back to the light. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this. Send your light, send your prayers. Let's not give up on seeing a better world and empowering those people who have to take on those roles in order to do the dishes. You know, it's a nice way of putting it. If I can help you in a session, please book one. Abbey, normalswisdomquest.com. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.